What you doing, buddy?
That's it.
Hey, Mum, how you going?
Go away.
What'd you get? Okay, so we've just been to the hairdressers for Hamish. Hey, buddy. Looking good. We're just going to get some dinner. We're going to do some pizzas for a Friday night. So I am a couple of days into my taper, so I'm not training at the moment. I am just taking it nice and easy and resting and recovering. I'm going to do a bit of a hike tomorrow morning on Saturday at 4 a.m. with an online client that I've actually never ever met. Oi! Yes! Oh, thank you, sir! And they've lost over 25 kilos since working together, probably for almost about a year now. So very, very exciting to kind of meet this person, which is going to be super funny. We're going to be meeting them at Brow Waters at 4 a.m. in the morning to go for a 4-hour hike. Anyway, so nice easy night tonight. Like I said, he's got his haircut done. Looking fresh, buddy. How'd you go? Good looking boy. Hamish, gonna get you. Just about to go to Brow Waters. It's now 3 o'clock in the morning and it is time to get my hiking legs on. Haven't done just a hike without running at all for a very, very long time. So I've got my coffee, got my gear ready to go, socks and shoes are already on. Let's get it. 4 a.m. start. Just met Brad, my online client. There's actually another online client that's rocked up here as well, who's working with Nicole, who is Nicole. Anyway, it's so funny meeting people that I've been working with for a little while now, and it's the first time that I've met them. 3.5 hours into our 4-hour hike. It's probably going to end up being about 4.5 hours, but we are utterly drenched. It's rained since about the first half an hour of our hike. So we headed out to our Cowan station. Then once we got to Cowan station, we actually walked along the road along Old Pacific Highway back to Barawa, and now we're actually heading down from Barawa itself down to Barawa Waters, just cutting through. So we should be back in about maybe an hour, so about 4.5 hours. Should take over about 15 kilometers, which has been good for the legs, and some good chats. It's been dark pretty much the whole time, but anyway, great way to start the Saturday. So like I said, I've got now a couple of days until I run 50 kilometers on Wednesday. It's now Saturday, so I got Sunday, Monday to stretch pretty aggressively and do a stack of mobility work, and then Tuesday is going to be mild and very, very easy. Our morning hike to a finish. We're gonna go time for some breakfast, I think. It's Amy's. There he is. There he is. Thumb's in the way, buddy.
You want to go outside? Where do you want to go? Outside? Bye.
Good morning. So it's Sunday here today. We just had a breakfast at the moment at Newcastle before we do some shopping. I'm a bit tired today. It had something to do with getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning yesterday, I would imagine. But anyway. So having some bacon and eggs now. And we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna go and do some shopping. I'm gonna get some bone broth from Go Vita at Rouse Hill. And what am I going to do this afternoon? I've got calls from 11:30 all the way up until 4:30 this afternoon. And I've got a bit more programming to do for the week ahead, but otherwise, it's just a chill day, working day. I'm hoping we get out for a bit of a walk this afternoon. To be honest, I'm trying to think about what I'm going to eat for dinner. I think today you need to take a real big step and be really honest with what you're actually doing and what sort of foods that you're actually eating, because right now my recommendation to you would be to not track and to literally start looking at some items of what's causing you to eat the foods that you are. It's so February, right? You had a total of 1,366 and we had 836 calories of that just with peanut butter. So it's now Monday morning, 8 a.m. and I've just ran through some mobility work for the morning. A little bit aggressive, a little bit fast. Went through basically every muscle group that I'm going to be using when I'm running this Wednesday. So I was just making sure that I was getting within my own range of motion and kind of just to bump up that heart rate a little bit. So I'm still resting, still taking time off and tapering. So I've got Tuesday, one more day of complete rest, so I won't even do any stretching on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I will finish here at the gym at about 10:30, and I've got a few calls until about 12:30. And I'll make my way from Thornley Station up to Brooklyn. And then about 12:30, 1 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon, I'm gonna head from Brooklyn all the way along the Great North Walk back to Thornley Station, which should be about 50 kilometers. Time frame, don't really have one, don't really care. My main focus is to work on my hydration and work on my fueling to make sure that things are running smoothly, I don't get digestive stress and all those sorts of things. So it's kind of a funny situation where, because these things are so big, they require so much time off. So I haven't really trained for a whole week, so I'm feeling kind of a little bit spicy and on edge. So Wednesday should be fixing that for myself. But otherwise, just again, today's nice and easy, a bit more walking, got a few more clients this morning, and then this afternoon packed up with some coaching calls. Is everyone else's grass is growing like ridiculously fast at the moment? This rain, this sun is absolutely awesome. Monday afternoon, it's time for me to do some easy movement, so I thought I would catch up on some jobs that I've been neglecting, and I'm gonna get this lawn mowed. Hamish, what are you doing? Okay, so now it's been almost a week since those last few clips that you've just seen. So I made my way out to Brooklyn. So it was a Wednesday, and I had just finished 7 hours of one-on-one personal training, and I had made a very, very rookie error, and that is I was underhydrated. Call it dehydrated if you like, even before I started. So I got out to Brooklyn at about 12:30, and my mouth was already a little bit dry. Kind of didn't really think about it too much, to be honest though. And I got there and got my fuel ready to go and headed off, probably about 1:45, 12:30 again, and within the first 9 kilometers out of a 50-kilometer trail run that I was attempting to do, become lightheaded, become headachy, dizzy. There's this feeling of when you're on the trails, and if you've ever spent any significant amount of time doing trail running, you know when you're feeling really good. And one of those really good feelings is when the terrain is very technical, you seem to be very light and fluffy from rock to rock, as opposed to kind of glugging and kind of almost pulling yourself along. There seems to be this very blissful thing where you're in the bush and you're almost like parkour, where you're kind of moving in and out of different rock positions and climbing positions and descending positions and things like that. And I jumped in at about the first real hard technical part, about the 8 to 9 kilometer mark, and I was thinking that I was just a bit off and I just wasn't really sure. But then I hit the first climb and my heart rate just got completely jacked, and it was soon to know that I was significantly dehydrated. I just couldn't keep up with the need of water and hydration as to what I probably should have been even before I started off. So at about the 10k mark, 11k mark, it did get to a point where I was dizzy, I was about to pass out, I had to sit down on a rock, and as you can imagine, these start to play massive things on your mind when you're trying to achieve such big goals. And this is just one of those things. If anyone's watching this and you've done some serious running before, you're probably going to know that not every run is going to be one of those glorious runs, and sometimes you have to figure out that the bad runs are the ones where you actually learn the most. The good runs are the ones where you come back to it. It's like every golfer would suggest and say that all you need is one good swing, and running's kind of just like that, I would suggest. And it's just like all you need is one good run, and you'll just keep coming back. But it's all the bad runs
and the mistakes that you make, even if they're so simple considering how long that I've been doing this for and coach people to hydrate and to keep their electrolytes up and all those sorts of things. And if you get carried away and you forget the basics, it can be a very fast reminder when you're out in the bush and you've got to catch the depressing train home to your car and then talk to your wife and say, what happened? I'm lucky enough that I've got my coach, who is my wife, who gets to deal with all my emotional stress after things like this. So I'm very appreciative of that. So what have I done that night? I need to learn from these things. And when you're a personal trainer, your attention's on the client. Your attention's got nothing to do with what else is happening in the gym. Your job is to look after that client, and I just need to carry a water bottle around with me rather than trying to get little sips in here and there in between clients. So on the Wednesday night when I was dehydrated, I decided to go and get myself a few bottles so that I've got the one in the car, I've got one on me at hand, I've got one other one at home, another one at work, so that I can hopefully mitigate this fact that my job and my career is my number one thing, and my fitness is always going to be secondary to that. So I know that if I'm going to continue focusing on my brand and my business and my clients, that's going to pay a little bit of a toll on my training sometimes, and keeping things basic, like just having a water bottle hanging around, can really do absolute wonders. So let's just say that long run didn't go well. My next long run is going to be on the 14th of March, and I've been back training about 2 days after this little event. Did a half marathon with my sister on the Friday, and it was kind of nice just to be able to reinvigorate myself and just be like, okay, it's okay, it was just a one-off and you were literally dehydrated, because sometimes you can get inside your head, and these long events can really do that. And if you lose your confidence, it can make these long-term goals just a little bit too hard sometimes. You want to make sure that you stay on top of it and you get back out there as soon as you possibly can to make sure you keep taking that progression forward. Alright, so that's it for another vlog series here. So tomorrow, in the video sense, after the Wednesday's little dehydration kind of appearance, Nicole and I headed out for a camping trip out to Lithgow with my family, and we did some running, we did some swimming, we did some kayaking, canoeing. Anyway, tune in guys, next one's up here. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.